So this part is what's ending and what's materializing with the outer planets. Neptune, the outer planet, linked to our experience of spirituality, fantasy, and illusion, was in Pisces since 2011 until recently. Where Pisces lives in our birth charts shows where we've been doing 14 years of Neptunian merging, blurring lines. It's where the area of our lives where our feelings overtook clarity, where we were boundaryless, or where our boundaries softened. The area of our lives where we express Pisces is where people, places, and things were allowed to float around without much definition for the last 14 years. That was until March of 2023 when Saturn, the planet linked to limitation and structure, moved into Pisces and started testing the strength of what we created in our Pisces house. Are you still with me? So with Saturn, the vision and fantasy met consequence in one sense of looking at it. Since that time, notice who or what has passed on from your life in that Pisces area. What did you attempt to create that could not be sustained? Where did you have to plug leaks in water infrastructure? Saturn in a water sign. Saturn will keep what's real, so that's what we have to work with now. I'll get back to that in a second. Collectively, we also saw the proverbial wool being pulled from our eyes about what was not real. What was just smoke and mirrors or a grift at the end of the day? What has held up to the Saturn test? And then also, because one of the reasons I tell people to work with Saturn is because I have learned that when we do the hard Saturn stuff in our charts, basically the place where Saturn moves through the chart can see a lot of limitation, a lot of struggle, a lot of hardship, but ultimately if you work with Saturn, Saturn works with you. In many ways, the Pisces area of your life, which correlates to the Pisces house, is showing where we've been rewarded for the hard work and the effort that we put in, really having to slog through a lot of dense water and a lot of lack of clarity, boundarylessness. So this is a good time to assess that. And now it's in Aries initiation. So this is less watery drift and more action. In Aries, the dream demands expression. It wants to be tested and lived. Illusion in Aries doesn't hide, it acts. Neptune in Aries is also about spiritual or ideological warfare. Think about delusions in the head. Also, the last time that Neptune was in Aries, the US Civil War was starting. So in a sense, we're already there. And I'm not advocating panic. I'm advocating and I'm encouraging everyone to do what you got to do. Take care of business, link up, get together, and understand that we as a collective together have the power. First of all, we have the inner authority and agency within us, but as a collective, we also have power in our strength, in numbers. I'll talk about Uranus. Uranus in Taurus has been retrograde. With Uranus, we've been looking at our values and our sense of security. Uranus is wrapping up its time in Taurus and is going to station direct after several months of being retrograde. So the final internal recalibrations around our values, our resources, the earth, we are processing those now. And once Uranus goes direct, Uranus is going to be doing its final. The planets don't actually cause things to happen, but symbolically, we're going to see more of an urge for people to liberate themselves, to break free, to move differently in the material world. So Uranus is going to wrap up its time in Taurus, and it's going to move into the next sign, which is Gemini. But before it gets there, I think we may feel more of a last push to disrupt what we own, what we consume, and what we call stability. So all of the outer planets, I'm going to skip Pluto for now because I feel like we're going to be talking about this some more. So all of the outer planets are gathering in the early degrees of air and fire signs after years of working through heavier water and earth terrain. Air and fire move faster. They stimulate ideas, conversations, reactions. They inspire us, they agitate us, and they catalyze us to move into action. So, in many ways, it's giving this time to, again, just ground ourselves, understand that we're good no matter what, but also for us to really be moving on the grounded ideas and impulses that we have right now. So, just be aware, take care of yourself. And if you need any support, please book a reading with me. I'd be happy and I would love to look at your chart with you.